In the process of punching, we land up with so many tails on our working side that we need to poke through. And I don't know about you, but I don't always enjoy that process. So in today's Oxford Moment, I am going to show you a special trick that's going to help alleviate that and have it so that you don't have to do as much poking. Normally, when we've been punching, you will start to have a bunch of tails on the other side that you're going to need to poke through to the loopy side of your project. And to do that, we normally take our scissors with our tip closed, and we will give those little tails a little poke and poke them down the same hole they're coming out of until they've gone through to the other loopy side. Now, I don't find that very fun, especially when I have a whole bunch of tails filling this space. It becomes trickier and trickier to get them to poke down through. So to save time and to make it a little easier on myself, I prefer to do a little trick that's going to cause those starting tails and the ending tails to be down on the loopy side automatically as I'm punching, and it will stop me having to poke tails at the end. So let's take a look at what that looks like. I'm going to take my punch needle just like I normally would. I'm going to select my starting spot, and I'm going to punch down just as normal. So there's my little tail sticking through on the other side. Now, if I was punching normally, I would just continue on punching, and at the end, I'd have to poke that little tail down to the other side. But instead, I'm going to take my opposite hand from what I'm punching with, and I'm going to reach underneath the frame, and I'm going to pinch that yarn at the back of the punch needle and pull this tail down. What that looks like on the loopy side or on the other side is this. There's my hand underneath, and I'm reaching underneath, and I'm going to grab that yarn at the back of the punch needle, and I'm just going to give it a little pull, and it's going to come down through to this side of the rug. And then that way, as I resume punching, that little starting tail is already through and I won't have to poke it down. Now I just keep punching as I normally would. And when I'm ready to stop again, I'm going to just make my stop. I'm taking that hand just like I did the last time, and I'm going to grab the yarn at the back of the punch needle on the opposite side. So here we are over on the other side, and I'm going to grab that yarn at the back just like so, and I'm going to hold on to it nice and snug. And on this side, I'm going to withdraw my punch needle. I like to just stick it off to the side here so it won't roll away on me. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to give a nice little snip, and I'm cutting it quite close to the backing. I'm not going to cut it very tall because I don't want to land up with too long of a tail and wasting yarn. And then I'm going to pull that little tail down through to the other side. I'm going to turn it over again so you can have a look to see what that looks like. There it is there, and I'm taking my fingers because I still have a fold of it, and I can just pull that tail through to the other side, and we have it now on the loopy side, and I haven't had to do any kind of poking. Now let's take a look at what this looks like normally without doing the flipping back and forth. I have my needle. I'm all ready to start punching. I'm going to just pick my spot. I'm going to punch all the way down, and here I have that little tail. On the other side, my other hand is underneath the frame. It's grabbing the yarn at the back of the punch needle. And if you watch closely, you'll see this little tail disappear as I pull it down. There it goes. Now I can start to punch. And I don't need to hold on to that tail. I've let go of it. My other hand can actually come back up to the other side if I want. And I can punch along just like I normally would. And when I'm ready to stop again, I'm going to take this hand back underneath the frame. And once again, I'm pinching the yarn at the back of the punch needle. I'm holding on to it as I withdraw my needle. I poke it off to the side. I'm going to take my scissors. I'm cutting nice and close. And there's that little tail. And because I still have a hold of it on the other side, I can now gently give it a little tug, and down it goes. And so I don't have to poke those tails. One of the things to bear in mind with this method is that you do land up with longer yarn tails. So it's going to use up a little bit more of your yarn than it would otherwise. One of the methods that you can do to mitigate this is to pinch the yarn on the back of the needle as close as you can to the mum's cloth. And that'll give you a slightly shorter tail than it would otherwise. But either way, you do end up using a little bit more of your yarn in the project by doing this method. I personally, though, find that doing so, that time saving kind of weighs out for me and balances it out in the long run. We hope you enjoyed these tips on tails today. And to learn more, you can visit the Oxford Rug Cooking School website to check out our online courses or to find an Oxford Certified Instructor near you. To stay in the loop, be sure to sign up for our newsletter. We have the information in the description below. Thanks for watching and happy punching!